Hi again, the name is James Walter Apitan, and in this video, I'm going to present to you the results of experiment 5 using Python, titled Boolean Values and Conditional Execution. So, for the start of this experiment, we have the first part, which is the input function. For the objectives of this part, we have to become familiar with the input function, become familiar with the comparison operators in Python. So we have here a test data and a scenario where using one of the comparison operators in Python, write a simple two-line program that takes the parameter n as input, which is an integer, and prints false if n is less than 100 and true if n is greater than or equal to 100. So I have here a program code. So let's copy it first. So we have here a n, which is stated here, where the variable n is an integer and prints false if the variable n is less than 100, as stated here. So it's just supposed to be two lines. So if a two-line function using variable as the first line, the print function will show a true. So in here, I have created n as greater than or equal to 100. So if it is less than 100, it will show false. So let's test that if it is true. We have the sample output 55. So the expected output would be false. X is 99 and the false 100. 100 will be true because it is equal to 100. Next would be 101 would be true. Negative 5 would be false because it is negative value. Next would be a positive 123. This would be also true. So for the next part, we have the comparison operator and conditional execution. For the objectives of the part 2, we have to become familiar with the input function, become familiar with the comparison operators and function, becoming familiar with the concept of conditional execution. For this scenario, we have a plant called Spathiphyllum, where our task would be to create a program that gives yes, Spathiphyllum is the best plant ever, would be the code's answer if the statement is Spathiphyllum with an uppercase. And no, I want a big Spathiphyllum if the statement has a lowercase. And if it is different, would be Spathiphyllum, not the inputted answer. So I have a code here. So let's test it out. Okay, so our first sample would be a lowercase pathy phylum. And there we go. Expected output would be no, I want a big Spotify. Next would be a different answer. And here we have pelargonium, and the answer would be Spatifilum, not pelargonium, or the inputted answer. Next would be the uppercase, Spatifilum. And there we go. The expected answer is yes. Dash Spatifilum is the best plant ever. So for the next part is the if-else instruction. So the objectives of this part is to use the if-else instruction to branch the control path, building a complete program that solves simple real-life problems. So we have a scenario here where we are tasked to create a tax collector where was not if the citizen's income rather was not higher than $85,528, the tax was equal to 18% of the income minus $556.02. This would be the tax relief. And when the income is higher than the amount or the $85,528, the tax would be equal to $14,839.02 plus 32% of the surplus over $85,528. So with this, we have to show the how the tax calculator would be because the country never returns money to its citizens. If the calculated tax is less than zero, it only means no tax at all. So we have a test data here, and let's try this program code. So we have here an income where the income will be a float value and the input function where the input function can also be written inside a string to enter the annual income where previously there will be only a blank space where we can write. Now would be a string comes with the blank where we can type our answer. So here enter the annual income. Let's go to the test data and type 10,000 and the expected value would be 12.44.0 thaler. With this, the tax relief as stated here would be equal to the income times the 18% minus 556.2, which is $556.02. So if the income is greater than the $85,528, then the tax would be equal to the variable tax relief. And if the tax relief is less than or equal to 0, then the tax would be equal to 0.0, or there will be no tax. For the next is the else. Using if and else would be, how, how should I say this? Would be a partner. So for the tax else, if it is different, as stated here, higher than the amount. So if the income is less than, then the else would be greater than. So if the else is considered as greater than or higher the amount, the tax would be the same as this one, inputted as a code like this: income minus 85,528 times the 32% added to the 14,839.2. So with that, let's test, let's test the 10,000. The expected output would be $1,244, and it is true. For the next part would be 100,000 would be $19,470. So for the next input would be 1,000, expected would be 0, and it is 0. Next would be 100, negative 100, and it is 0. So for the next part 4, if elif else statement, we have a scenario here where it states the year of Gregorian calendar, where it started 1582. So we have a code here, and let's try this one. In here, you have a task to determine a year if it is a leap year or a common year, or if it's not within the Gregorian calendar period, where the Gregorian calendar started in 1582. So in here, I have put the if function per year is less than 1582, where it will print out not within the Gregorian calendar period. Then next is the elif, which is a combination of else and if. So this is how it is constructed, and when it is inputted, just test out the data. 2000 is a leap year. Next would be 2015 would be the expected output as common year. Let's see if it is true. Yes, it is true. Next would be 1999 would be a common year. Next would be 1996 as a leap year. And if it is 1580, then it is not within the Gregorian calendar period. So in here, we have the operator percent as a divisible. Year divisible by 4 is not equal to 0. Where not equal is a comparison operator. here is also less than. So in here, it can be interpreted as if the year is less than 1582, the print it will print or it will display not within Gregorian calendar period. If otherwise, if the year is divisible by 4 and not equal to 0, it is a common year. Otherwise, if the year is not divisible by 100, it is a leap year. Otherwise, it is a common year. And else, it is a leap year if none of it is determined. So, the next part, we have the while loop. Using the while loop and reflecting real life situations in computer code. So we have a scenario here where a junior magician has picked a secret number he has hidden in a variable named secret number. And we are tasked to complete the code since we don't know how to complete it. So we have a given condition here where the code would ask the user to enter an integer number and use a while loop and check if the number is the same as the secret number or the variable secret number. If not, the the result would repeat itself with a displayed ha, you're stuck in my loop. In here, we will repeat again and again until we reach the correct answer. And when we reach the correct answer, it will display well done, Muggle. You are free now. So we have a code here. So let's test out. So we have here a print function of welcome at the start. Then next would be the number variable, integer, since it is indicated that it has to be integer, and input function your number. Next is the while loop. If the number or while the number is not equal to the secret number, which is the which is the 777, we will display the haha, you're stuck in my loop. And the number would again repeat itself and would ask again for what your answer would be. And when we reach the final answer or the correct answer, it will display well done, Margot. You are free now. So let's test out this code. So here we have welcome to my game, Margot. Enter an integer number and guess what number I picked for you. So what is the secret number? The number, let's test it out first as 100. As you can see, haha. It will display haha, you're stuck in my loop. Next would be 254 and still stuck in the loop. 500, 001, 1000, 677. It still continues until we get the final answer, which is 777. Well done, Mago. You are free. And for the conclusion, using the input function, it let us interact with the code to properly initiate the desired condition and output expected. By using the comparison operators like the double equal to give the program a response to the questions input in the code, which is true or false. And the if-else loop helps the program to get the right answer if the inputted answer is deemed wrong. And as for this also a function, the same to the while loop, but the while loop is an infinite code where it repeats itself and repeat as you can see. And as for the if-else function, for the if-else statement, it is only a one way. So for the recommendation, it is recommended to carefully check the variables intended to use to meet the conditions and observe properly the comparison operators as part of its construction. Is composed of individual codes and may cause misinterpretation and result in an error. So that's all for my video, the experiment 5 using Python. Once again, I am James Walter Apita. Thank you for watching.